Justin Bieber is 32 years old, and today, the entire world is asking the exact same question. What really happened to the boy who had everything? For over a decade, Justin Bieber was the undisputed king of global pop music. His face was on every billboard, his voice dominated every radio station, and his net worth climbed into hundreds of millions of dollars. He achieved a level of fame that most human beings cannot even comprehend. But behind the flashing lights, the massive stadium tour, and the screaming fans, a much darker reality was quietly unfolding. In recent times, shocking images and rumors have flooded the internet, showing a side of Justin Bieber that looks completely broken, isolated, and physically altered. It has left millions of people wondering if the pressure of the music industry finally took its ultimate toll. When a superstar vanishes from the spotlight and returns looking like a completely different person, the world naturally fears the worst. People want to know the truth about his health, his mental state, and how he actually lives his life today behind closed doors. To truly understand why the world is so concerned about Justin Bieber at 32, we have to look back at the heavy price he paid for a life lived entirely in front of the camera. Growing up in the public eye is a unique kind of trauma that very few people survive undamaged. Justin Bieber was discovered as a young teenager, a normal boy from Canada who could sing and play the guitar. Almost overnight, he was thrown into a massive corporate machine that demanded constant perfection. He did not get to have a normal childhood. He did not get to make mistakes in private, and he did not get to figure out who he was without millions of critics judging his every move. By the time he was a young adult, the intense pressure began to manifest in very public breakdowns, legal troubles, and intense emotional struggles. For years, the media treated his pain as entertainment, commercializing his downfalls and mocking his struggles with anxiety and depression. This constant scrutiny created a deep sense of isolation. When you are the most famous teenager on the planet, you quickly realize that almost everyone around you wants something from you. It becomes nearly impossible to know who to trust, leading to severe trust issues and emotional exhaustion. As the years went on, the physical toll of this lifestyle became impossible to hide. Justin Bieber began opening up about his battle with chronic health issues, including Lyme disease and chronic mononucleosis, which deeply affected his energy levels, his skin, and his overall well-being. But the most shocking blow came when he was diagnosed with Ramsay-Hunt syndrome. This rare neurological disorder caused partial paralysis in his face, forcing him to cancel major tour dates and completely retreat from the public eye. For a singer whose entire life and career depended on his face and his voice, this diagnosis was absolutely devastating. It was a stark reminder that underneath the glamorous pop star image, he was a human being with a fragile body breaking down under immense stress. The partial facial paralysis was a terrifying physical manifestation of the toll his career had taken on him. He vanished from the stage, leaving behind a massive void and a fan base deeply worried about whether he would ever be able to perform again. During this long period of absence, speculation reached an all-time high. Without official updates, the internet began to fill the silence with dark rumors, fabricated stories, and AI-generated images depicting the singer in extreme poverty, poor health, and total isolation. These shocking visuals spread rapidly, convincing many people that Justin Bieber's life had completely fallen apart. But the truth of how he lives today is far more complex and deeply human than any sensationalized rumor. Justin Bieber did not lose everything, but he did make a conscious, deliberate choice to step away from the toxic cycle of endless fame. He realized that if he continued to chase the approval of the music industry at the expense of his physical and mental health, it would eventually destroy him completely. At 32, his life is not defined by tragic downfall, but rather by a quiet, desperate fight to reclaim his humanity and live a life focused on genuine healing. Today, Justin Bieber lives a highly private, low-key lifestyle that is completely opposite to the chaotic energy of his teenage years. He spends a significant amount of time at his lakeside mansion in Ontario, Canada, far away from the aggressive paparazzi of Los Angeles. This natural, quiet environment has become a sanctuary for him, a place where he can simply exist without being hunted by cameras. His daily life revolves heavily around his family. The birth of his son, Jack Blues, marked a massive turning point in his life, shifting his entire focus from global stardom to the responsibilities of being a father. For the first time in his existence, he has a purpose that has absolutely nothing to do with record sales, chart positions, or public approval. He is also supported heavily by his wife, Hailey Bieber, who has been a steady anchor throughout his health crises and emotional struggles. Together, they have built a protective shield around their private life, strictly limiting who enters their inner circle to ensure Justin remains surrounded only by people who care about his well-being, not his celebrity status. Despite his focus on healing and privacy, Justin Bieber's relationship with music has not ended, though it has drastically evolved. He recently made an emotional return to the public eye, releasing new music and delivering a highly discussed, stripped-down performance at the Grammy Awards. But this was not the high-energy pop star the audience was used to seeing. He appeared raw, deeply reflective, and wore incredibly simple clothing, presenting himself to the world without any of the usual pop star armor. This minimalist, honest approach carried over to his headlining performance at the Coachella Festival. Instead of a massive, heavily choreographed production with backup dancers and intense special effects, Bieber chose a lo-fi, incredibly relaxed set. At times, he simply sang along to his own past music videos playing on a screen behind him, creating an intimate, almost therapeutic atmosphere. This unique performance style completely divided the public and music critics alike. Some critics labeled the performance as lazy, messy, and lacking the effort expected from a global headliner paying millions of dollars to put on a show. But his most loyal fans, along with fellow musicians who understand the brutal nature of the entertainment industry, saw it as something entirely different. To them, it was an act of profound inner child healing. He was a man standing on a stage, looking back at his younger self, and performing on his own terms without letting the industry dictate how he should move, look, or act. It was a clear declaration that he will no longer destroy his body and mind just to satisfy the public's appetite for a flawless pop spectacle. He is choosing to be real, even if being real looks messy to the outside world. The story of Justin Bieber at 32 is a powerful cautionary tale about the reality of modern celebrity culture. It shows how the world can take a talented child, build him up into a godlike figure, and then watch completely detached as the pressure crushes his spirit and his health. The shocking rumors and exaggerated images that circulate online are a reflection of society's obsession with seeing celebrities fall. But the real truth is that Justin Bieber is actively choosing survival over stardom. He is navigating the long, difficult road of physical recovery from neurological illness, while learning how to be a father and a husband in a world that constantly watches his every move. His life is not a tragic script written for public entertainment. It is a real human journey filled with genuine pain, quiet boundaries, and an ongoing fight to stay healthy. He has traded the roaring crowds of stadiums for the quiet peace of his family, proving that true wealth is not found in fame, but in the strength to walk away from the things that tear you apart.